Coming at you live at CincyJungle.com. The Bengals get off the schneid in Houston. Knock off the Texans 20-13. As always, we want to get to 449463397 if you're outside the country as well. Get in touch with us via Skype. This game, the Bengals had this game well under control, and then the officials decided to stop playing fair. It's just some poor calls. Andy Dalton had a pick six today. Clearly, Jadeveon Clowney was lined up offside. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's all over Twitter, all over social media. It wasn't even close. He lines up offsides, then he resets and lines up even more offside. Yet the line judge somehow missed that one. Not sure how that's even possible. But I want to hear from you. Get in touch. Again, 404-946-3397. Let's start off the show. John from Kentucky, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? Yeah, when Dalton threw that pick six, of course, I was listening to the game. I'm listening to it on the radio. Well, I got over Twitter, and Anthony had posted a photo of that. And I was like, my gosh. And a buddy of mine had texted me, bum Dalton. Then I froze that picture and sent it to him. And I said, man, what are you talking about? They lined up off sides here. And he took a look at it, and he's like, my God, that is insane. So anyway, that's the only touchdown Houston had all day. Hoo-day, that's all I can say. And I tell you what, the most improved players on the Bengals team, there's two of them, Ray Maluga and Mike Nugent. They are playing as good as they've ever played in Cincinnati. And let's see this in the playoffs. That's all I want to say.
All right, John. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
Hooday. John getting us off with a bang here on Inside the Jungle. If you want to get in touch, 404-946-3397. I actually, when I was watching that play unfold, I was so busy looking down at my phone trying to tweet out right defensive end's offside. And then the pick six happened, and I'm waiting for the little flag icon to show up on the screen to say, that there was a penalty, and there was nothing. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. Area code 828, how's this?
Hey, Nick, it's Kurt down in North Carolina.
Hey, what's up, Kurt?
How's it going?
Hey, I'm happy, man. Bengals win. They win in Houston, which they hadn't done in quite a while. I think they had lost 5 straight to the Texans, so I'm happy, man. I'm real happy.
Dalton gets a win in his home state, and I know you might get a couple calls like this, and there's a couple, there's probably a lot of people out there that are probably going to think, like, why didn't we have more convincing win against the Texans? They don't seem as good as this team as their record shows. But I mean, I'm not really upset. When I look back at the game, I'm trying to think of a part of the offense, the special teams, the defense that I really thought didn't play well. And I mean, I think everyone played really, really well. I don't think anyone was like a superstar besides A.J. Green with all the catches he had. But I mean, defense was solid. Special team was, solid. Offense was solid. No one gave up any big plays that shouldn't have been given up or made any huge mistakes. So, I mean, I thought all around, despite what other people might think, I think it was just a good, solid win.
It was a solid win. They threw the ball well. They ran the ball well. And more importantly, on defense, they held Ryan Mallett in check. He got a lot of garbage yards there at the end of the game, but 21 of 45 for 189 yards from Ryan Mallett. And so I think that's pretty good. You know what else they did, Kurt? They kept J.J. Watt in check. Though he had some tackles, there was nothing that got the crowd into it. There was nothing that made you just kind of drop your jaw and say, wow. It was just a typical J.J. Watt performance. He had 7 tackles on today, but there was nothing that really made much of an impact on the game.
Yeah, he had that one block pass, and after that I was like, oh, no, like, not again.
Right. At least he didn't catch it.
I had that first thought of like, oh, man, if J.J. Watt really gets into this and the crowd gets into it, it could be bad. But I think we're starting to see this defense that we had in the first 3 games of the season, and we saw it last week against the Saints. We saw it this week against the Houston. So, I mean, I'm knocking on wood right now. But at the same time, like, I think this is the defense that Mike Zimmer left behind for Paul Gunther to take over, which we saw in the first 3 weeks, and has kind of just, been absent for a while. But I think that they're getting back to full strength and showing everybody that to the top 10 defense, even though it might not be that in stats, but, I mean, they can show that they're a defense that really shuts people down if they absolutely have to.
Yeah, they're slowly turning the corner. They're getting healthier too, which is important as well.
Other people call in. Great win. We'll talk to you next week. Hey, have a good, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too. Hopefully we'll talk to you Tuesday night.
That's right, Tuesday night. All right, have a good night. Who day?
Who day? Thanks for the call, Kurt. 404-946-3397 is the number to call. Continue to call in. If you don't get through, I will be on the air as long as we possibly get phone calls today. So again, please continue to call in and get in touch. Big win today for the Bengals. Andre Smith went out, and you kind of thought to yourself, oh boy, here we go. Marshall Newhouse going up against J.J. Watt, and that's not going to be pretty. But, I mean, it wasn't pretty. I mean, Marshall Newhouse at times, you can see he's got a little chokehold on J.J. Watt when he's trying to turn the corners. I'm surprised there weren't more holding calls thrown Newhouse's way. But, hey, you know what? They took out the J.J. Watt. Now, there were some plays where he made a tackle or he did deflect that one pass. But other than that, it wasn't, like I said, there was nothing that got the crowd into it, nothing that really amped up the Texans. So I thought they did a good job on J.J. Watt. Area code 714. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Lenny inside NRG Stadium, and it's pretty quiet.
Wow. We have Lenny Rolson live on the scene down in Houston. So what was it like down there?
It was pretty wild. It seems like this team only knows how to cheer for A.J. Watt. All they do is show his name or his picture, and they just go ballistic. I'm glad I didn't hear his name called for doing very much during the game, so that was really cool. It's really great that we got here. I was here with Larry and my brother Michael, my brother Timmy, and a couple other people. We came down to watch the game and got to see a winner. So that's great.
That's awesome. A family affair for the Rolsons down at NRG Stadium. And you know what? You got to see them win in Houston for the first time in quite a while.
Yep. And it was a pretty good win. I only missed one significant play. I was taking a bathroom break right there at the beginning of the half. And I guess it was Malaluga. Was he the one who got the interception?
That's right. The first play of the second half, he picked off Ryan Mallett and set the Bengals up. That's right. So you missed that one, unfortunately. But maybe it's because you got up. It was good luck.
Yeah. All right. I just want to say hooday and sign off from here at NRG Stadium. Hooday.
Hooday. Appreciate the call. Send my love to the Rolsons there, Lenny.
Certainly will.
Hooday. The Rolsons giving us a call from Houston. That's awesome. Made the trip to NRG Stadium to see the Bengals win and the Texans lose. Very, very nice. Today the Bengals started off great. Andy Dalton started off great in the first half. It was lights out. And they were really picking apart the Texans secondary. A.J. Green today with a career-high 12 catches, 121 yards. That's a nice 10-yard average. I'll take that. Mohamed Sanu with 5 catches for 48 yards. We did see the return of Giovanni Bernard today on offense. And though he had some effective runs, there were still times where you kind of question the play calling and having him run up the gut in between the tackles. We did see him break off a long run in between the tackles. But again, when I say long, we're talking about a 19-yard run here. So it's not too long. But Jeremy Hill, I like that they split the carries. 18 for Hill, 17 for Bernard. Jeremy Hill with 87 yards on the day. That guy looks awesome. Want to see him get even more carries. Back to the jungle line we go. Area code 937. Hi, who's this?
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Woo! Oh, my goodness. That defense today. Can we sing the praises of that defense just one more time? I know everybody's calling in and talking about how good the defense was, and it was every bit of fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought they did.
Defense gave up 6 points. That's it. They could do nothing. I mean, God, Andy Dalton throwing a pick six that hurt, right?
Yeah, but that was, come on, if you look at it, that Clowney's offside. That play shouldn't even count. But, yeah, I get your point.
I mean, hey, but you know what? Guess what? Defense played amazing football today. You know, granted, Arian Foster wasn't in the lineup, but that's a game you got to play because we didn't have Montez Perfect, who's really our best defensive player. So They were down their best running back. We were down our best linebacker. It kind of balanced out, and I don't even think even with Arian Foster, that game result would have been any different. You know, the offensive game plan that Hugh Jackson went in with and neutralized J.J. Watt, like he was a non-factor today. He might have had a couple tackles in there, and he had one pass breakup, just one, which for a guy like that, you're talking about a guy that going into the game has had a touchdown in what seems like every other game this season. And then he's had sacks in every single game. I don't even think we gave him one sack today. I mean, that is just an outstanding performance all around, honestly. I mean, Andy Dalton, he had that one mistake, and that mistake was costly, don't get me wrong. And I think we could have stopped him, you know. And wait. Hold on. What about the narrative that Jonathan Joseph actually scores the only touchdown against the Bengals this week? I think we're burying the lead here. Like, the lead is Jonathan Joseph, the only Bengals player to actually even play on that roster for the Texans now. He's the only person that actually scored a touchdown. Like,
all right, a touchdown that shouldn't have counted. All right, I'll give you that, Chris.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm over the moon right now. But if I may be a downer for just 1 second, if you think back to that tie that we had some weeks ago, where Mike Nugent missed a very makeable field goal. Today he went out there and he crushed one. I think it was from 49 or 30. I think it was from 49 yards, actually. Now I think about it, 49 or 48 or something like that. That gave us a nice enough cushion. But if you think about it, if you go back to that Panthers game in overtime, if he hits that field goal, the Bengals are sitting at 8-3 right now.
Yep.
That is one of the best records in the AFC. I mean, I want to say we'd be tied with the Patriots for the best record in the league at this point. So, I mean, yeah, that is a huge deal. I mean, when you think about that, the way the whole tie breaks down. But overall, man, this Sunday, it's a great Sunday right now. I mean, even if you're a Browns fan, you can really be happy right now. Even though their kicker won it on his foot. But, you can still be happy as a Bengals fan. You can be happy as a Browns fan. And that defense, it looks like it's rallying in shape just in time for the playoffs. Like, we're getting it together. And as much as I've hated on Malaluga and as much as anybody else has hated on Malaluga, he makes a huge difference in that run defense. Right?
Yep.
I mean, he goes out, we give up 100 yards to any running back, including – oh my God, I don't even want to mention his name because he came from that team up north. But we give him 100 yards to that guy down in Jacksonville. We give him 100 yards to every other running back out there. And Mark Ingram, who's on the tear, doesn't get 60. I mean, I think he actually, I think he got 67 yards last week. But Mark Ingram doesn't get 60, doesn't get 100 yards. The previous 3 weeks he gets 100 yards. And this week we go out there and we shut down Afro Blue.
Yep. Yeah, the defense is playing great.
I mean, as much as we can sit around there and hate on Ray Malaluga, the guy, he does something very well. And that is a very big part of football. As much as anybody wants to make it about the passing, he does struggle to pass defense sometimes. But against any team that wants to run the football, forget about it.
Yep.
Ray is going to stuff that middle.
Well, I'm glad he's back. I got to run, Chris. I got so many people want to get through, bud. All right, bud?
Of course. You know that, man. Who
day, Chris. Appreciate the call. Area code 937, another Dayton call. Hi, who's this?
Hi, it's James from Dayton.
Hey, James from Dayton. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Really happy about that win, especially since we lost the 2 playoff appearances against the Texans. So I'm really happy that we ended up winning today. I had a question to you about what you think needs to happen at right guard with Newhouse and Andre Smith. I don't know what the issue is, but it just seems like neither one of them really can stay healthy sometimes, it seems like, or they're just getting pushed back and they're getting making stupid choices and getting just dumb penalties for no reason that they should know better. So I'm wondering if you think that we might want to draft somebody as an eventual replacement, or if you think that, maybe it's just a coaching issue and it can be fixed.
Well, they brought Newhouse in as a free agent in the offseason. And Andre Smith today, it sounds like he's going to be out the rest of the year with a torn tricep. So that's, he's not going to be back anytime soon, at least. They also have Tanner Hawkinson, a guy they drafted a couple years ago, but he was inactive today, but because they had 2 right tackles. So now you're going to probably see him get some snaps, maybe at right tackle. But Newhouse, though, at times he's not great. He did you have to admit he did a pretty solid job today on J.J. Watt.
That's true. I mean, JJ is pretty hard to cover. I mean, I'm not trying to hammer on him. It's just the one thing I was thinking of is the interception. I don't know if that was on the right guard spot, but Andy Dalton was getting pressure and he felt rushed and he threw that ball, and that's part of what played into that interception. So I'm just wondering maybe if it's a problem in that spot or if it's just an overall kind of needs to be tightened up a little bit, is I guess what I'm saying. I don't really know specifically.
If you go back and look at that pick 6, James, the pressure actually comes from up the middle. DJ Swearinger comes in untouched, and so that's not really on the right guard or the right tackle. It was a poor throw by Dalton. AJ Green, the ball was kind of behind him as well, and you got to give credit to Jonathan Joseph. He made a good read and made the play. But to be fair, let's go back to the original part of that play. Clowney's lined up off sides. That should not be a legit touchdown. That should have been brought back as a penalty for the bank. I cannot believe the line judge doesn't see that there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, sometimes the refs get it really right, and then they just really get it wrong. I mean, it's just unbelievable sometimes. But I'm really happy with how they played. Defense was ridiculous. Second game in a row, I've been really pleased with them. J.J. Watt was pretty much shut down, which I think that was one of your bold predictions, was J.J. Watt was just not going to be a factor, and he wasn't. So it's nice to see that happen.
Absolutely.
But, that's all I had, man. And Houday, man, we're going to roll into Tampa and take him out, man.
Appreciate the call, James. Houday.
Houday.
That's James here on the Houday line. Let's go to area code 210. Hi, who's this? You're really fan out. It's do me a favor, call back. It's awfully hard to hear you. We'll try to get him back on the line. He's calling from Korea, a little far away. A little technical issues there. Today I thought that the offense was fantastic. There were times where they kind of hit a lull, and after the second half, you can tell the Texans made some adjustments. Again, when you can run the ball 43 times. Which, by the way, I believe this is the second time that the Bengals have rushed over 40 times against the Texans. I was there for a game when Rudy Johnson had 43 carries against the Texans. That was the game before Chad Johnson predicted a win against the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Let's try this again. Area code 210. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is James from Korea.
There, that's much better, James. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Smartphones, right?
Yeah.
They're good at everything except for being a phone.
What do you know?
I'm gonna paint a picture for you.
Okay.
It could be any home. I'm gonna say in Mount Adams. There's a guy rooting through the back of their closet. Hey, Susan, you see my Ray Malaluga jersey?
Okay.
Just digging back there looking for it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been playing on a tear for the last couple of days.
Yeah, the last 2 games. He came back last week. He made an impact in the run game. At the time when he went out, I guess we didn't realize how much of an impact he had on this defense. And, with the fact that Burfict's been missing, I think Malaluka coming back into the lineup has really helped this linebacker core. You could tell by the way that they're all playing as a team on defense.
Yeah, you don't really know what a player is until they go out for a bit.
Yeah, what's that say about Burfict?
Yeah, well, hopefully when he comes back, we'll notice a more positive impact. But I think it'd be extremely short-sighted to say anything negative about Burfict at this point.
But you're right. I agree with you 100% about Ray Malaluga. His impact the last couple of weeks has been huge, and I'm really glad because he's a much maligned player in his career here in Cincinnati, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. I'm glad to see it.
Yep. Speaking of maligned players, I think I heard right. You're a soccer fan, right?
I am.
We've got a name for the play last week. It's Jermaine Gresham, the fumble.
Okay.
The foot of God.
The foot of God. I like it. That's fantastic. Oh, that
Pretty
is
much the exact same scenario. I mean, not for the same stakes, but you're not allowed to kick the ball to yourself, I'm pretty sure, but it worked.
that's awesome. The foot of God. Fantastic, James. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going because it's like 6:20 in the morning here. I got to go to work, but
Oh.
man, that Geno Atkins safety. Safeties are my favorite play in football, and Geno Atkins is my favorite player on the Bengals. So I was working very hard not to wake up my wife when that play happened.
Well done, James. Yes, get some sleep. Enjoy your day today.
Yeah, you too.
Uday. That's James from Korea giving us a ring here on the Jungle Line. If you want to get in touch, 404-946-3397 is the number to call. If you're outside the country, you can Skype us as well inside the jungle. Area code 541. Hi, who's this?
It's Andy from Oregon.
Hey, Andy. What's up, buddy?
I think that I can say with pleasure that our offensive line was spectacular today. With Andre Smith going down early and Newhouse stepping in, I was very, very worried about him on J.J. Watt. But I must say that even though linemen don't get much love, we need to give them the game ball today because I don't think J.J. Watt had a sack other than the one batted ball. You know, he was basically irrelevant. They were able to block him. They were able to keep the vaunted Clowney and Watt rush down to a minimum. And I'm so impressed with the way our line played today. Not to mention Green's catches, Dalton's accuracy was really well. But what do you think about that offensive line performance?
I thought they were fantastic today. The Texans on the day, if I'm looking at the stats here, I don't see any sacks. So yeah, they did a great job. With Andre Smith going down the way that he did, and Newhouse kind of having to come in and step in and take the place, and knowing he's going to be going up against J.J. Watt, I thought he did a fantastic job. And you know what really helps that though, Andy, is Andy Dalton was getting rid of the ball fast. He wasn't sitting back there and just patting the football. I mean, he was snapping it, he was dropping back, and then he was letting it go. So he didn't even give the Texans a chance to even get a pass rush on him. And the other thing that helps is that they were able to run the ball really effectively today. They only had a 3.2 yards per carry average, but when you're able to run the ball 43 times, you'll take that any day of the week.
I think that this was the first game that we got to actually see what our running game can be. You know, early in the season, Hill's a rookie, he's learning the offense, and Gio is quote-unquote veteran because he's been there longest. And, you know, we know what Gio can do. I think he's really good at the pitches, at the screens and things like that. But, I mean, Jeremy Hill up the middle, he's a monster. He is a really, really good running back, good balance, good vision, good burst and speed. And it looks like, you know, maybe he's finally got that ball control thing under because I didn't see him lose the ball once today. And I think that with a running attack like that and A.J. Green and whenever we can get Tyler Eifert back, Mohamed Sanu, this offense, when Dalton's not accurate, is going to be something to contend with. And I think that this bodes well for the future.
You know what I love about it, too, Andy, is the way that they were used today. They let Gio get a lot of the carries in the first half, knowing that they could punish the defense with Hill in the second half. And he's a much more physical back. And, to give Gio some credit here, a lot of the plays he gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and there's nothing that he doesn't move forward as much as he kind of falls backwards because of the force of the hit. Whereas when Hill gets hit at the line of scrimmage, he moves the pile and he pushes forward 2 or 3 yards, which you really like that in a back. And I love his bruising ability. And his nickname is the closer for a reason. And that run in the fourth quarter was huge. And his football smarts to stay in bounds, both on the swing pass and the run, was great as well.
I was pointing that out. I was watching it down in a local establishment here in my town, and when I saw him do that, the first play when he was going out of bounds or just about to and stops and then basically take the knee in bounds, it's like for a rookie to make that kind of a play in the fourth quarter of a game that you're winning, that tells me his football IQ is really high. I think he's a very smart football player. He's obviously athletically gifted, and that showed me that, this guy isn't just a running back. He's a football player. He's got it in his mind. He knows the situation. what's going on. And I also wanted to just give a big ups to my man, Ray Maluga, who, he's had his ups and downs through his career, but we've seen these last couple of games. When he was gone, it showed. And granted, Burfict's still out, but I think Maluga today, getting that pick, stopping him on that the third or fourth down, just shooting the gap and getting that stop. He's really showing that he is a leader of the defense. He's a mean, nasty guy, and he's really come on strong these last couple of games, and that really makes me happy.
Yep, it makes a lot of Bengals fans happy. Appreciate the call, Andy.
Yeah, hooday.
Hooday. Andy from Oregon here on the Jungle Line. Let's go to area code 410. Hi, who's this?
Hey, Nick, this is Seth from Baltimore.
Hey, Seth. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, Nick?
Hey, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked, too. I missed the first half because I was at church, but I came during the second half, and it seemed that, well, first of all, let me say it was a great win, so who to that? From what I saw, it seemed like Andy Dalton had a good game. Is that right?
He had a good first half. I think in the second half, the Texans made some adjustments and made it a little more difficult on him. But his first half, he was pretty good. I think he was 16 of 18 in the first half.
Oh, okay. And watching the game, watching the second half, I was a little scared when he threw that pick six to JJ. But rather than that, I mean, it's a great win. I'm not sure about this, but I think if the Broncos lose to Miami today, don't that put us in second seed? Is that correct?
I think you might be right, because that would give, I believe, the Broncos 4 losses. I'd have to check the standings. I don't have them up in front of me, but you might be right.
Yeah, I just find that remarkable, man. From one moment, like 2 weeks ago, we're talking about we're not going to make it to the playoffs, and now might have a first round bye.
It's the NFL, man. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. But last thing I gotta say is, looking at the schedule, we got Tampa, I think, next on the road, and then we got Pittsburgh at our place, and I don't know who's next after that. But
Cleveland.
but if we can just, I think if we win these next two, 8-3-1, yeah. If we win these next two and get to 10 wins, I think if we're not almost, about 80% guaranteed the playoff spot. If not, just a wild card.
It'd be nice, man. You just got to take it 1 week at a time. Got to go to Tampa and take care of business.
Yep. Who they, Nick?
Appreciate the call, Seth. Get in touch, 404-946-3397 if you want to get in touch. If you're outside the country as well, inside the jungle. As of right now, the Bengals are your third seed in the AFC. New England, your top seed at 9-2. Denver right now 7-3. And they're taking on a Dolphins team. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they have the Dolphins have scored on Miami. If I check the latest stats, refresh my page here. Yes, Miami leads 7-0 early in the first quarter in Denver. So, look, can't worry about that stuff. Can't worry about that. Got to take care of business next week in Tampa, who, if I look in the numbers here, Tampa today, where's the Tampa score? They lost to the Bears. Go figure. Back to the Jungle Line we go. Area code 937. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Chris from Springfield.
Hey, Chris, how you doing today?
Hooday.
Hooday.
No complaints really too much about Andy or nothing like that. Hey, we won. A win is a win, I guess.
A win is a win. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. But I don't like how Andre Smith went out, though. But we ran the ball, we stick to the game plan, and we won the ball like we were supposed to. So, Jonathan Joseph got some little revenge on us, though, but at least we got the revenge overall. So, hey, this game was like a you call it a coin toss or whatnot. So, kind of surprised we won, but at the same time, not surprised that we won.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans were coming off of a big win in Cleveland a week ago. And, it was Ryan Mallett's first home start, the second start in the NFL. And I thought the Bengals did a pretty good job with the game plan. They kept the plays in front of them. They didn't let the receivers beat them deep. And though I will say this, I am very disappointed at the lack of pressure from our front four because Ryan Mallett had all day to throw back there. But You know,
It's
to be
been like
credit,
that all year, though. I'm
yeah.
sorry, though. It's been like that all year. We need to rebuild our defensive line starting this draft. Sorry. I'll just put that out there right now. We do, period. Because, Marcus Hunt, he's kind of like a bug. He hasn't really show up. I know he's hurt right now, but to me, all the hype that's been going around Marcus Hunt, you think he's to the elite playing at least 50% of the snaps by now, though, but he's not. He's hurt. I understand that. But before he was hurt, you would think you see him more out there, though. But, yeah, we need to, start rebuilding our defensive line this year. If not that, then our offensive line. But, he's getting old, so, we're going to have to replace him pretty soon. So, I mean, but, that moving forward, though, we play good. We play good. We got to keep running the ball, which I was saying. I was still kind of upset about Hill not starting because I'd really rather see him start over Gio. But,
Well,
that's all I really got to say, though, Nick.
Hey, Chris, appreciate the call, bud. I agree with you. I think they're definitely going to need to regroup on the defensive line. I think they're going to address that in the draft for sure. Pecco's getting up there in age. Gathers is old.
I think that should be one of our number one draft picks, defensive end, the best one out. I just don't see no other spot to go at the defensive line. Did we even get a sack?
Did we even have a sack today?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlos Dunlap had a sack. I'm trying to think who else here. Yeah, that was the only one. He should have had two. The first one he whiffed. So
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I agree though. I think that they will definitely be addressing the defensive line here in the draft. Appreciate the call, bud.
Oh, thanks, man, Nick. You have a good day.
You too. That's Chris from Springfield here on the Jungle Line.
Call from unknown caller. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
I don't know why it does that every time. That is so bizarre. Okay. Let's look at the numbers here again. Again, if you're just joining us, Bengals with a big win on the road. Finally getting a win in Houston for Andy Dalton. That was good. Andy Dalton, 24 of 35, 233 yards. He did have the one touchdown pass, and he did have the one interception, which I cannot stress enough should not have counted. I don't know what the line judge was looking at. That's the same line judge, by the way, who on the third play of the game ruled Gresham short of a first down when the replay clearly showed that it was a first down. So, that line judge certainly had a rough day today. Jeremy Hill, 18 carries for 87 yards. Bernard, 17 carries for 45 yards. As a team, the Bengals rushed 43 times for 139 yards. That's getting it done. The defense was outstanding. Ryan Mallett, 21 of 45 for 189 yards. That's 4.2 yards per completion. 4.2. Oy. Alfred Blue, 16 carries for 46 yards. Grimes had 2 carries for 16. So as a team, 19 carries, 64 yards. Nice job by the defense, limiting the rushing attack. Andre Johnson's name wasn't called much. He had 3 catches for 36 yards. And when you look at the tackling stats today, your leading tackler, Vinny Ray, 10 tackles. Lemur had 8. Mauluga had 6. He did have the interception to start off the second half as well. Carlos Dunlap had 5 tackles. 2 of them were sacks. I'm sorry, one of them was a sack, but he did have 2 tackles for loss. As a team, this defense is playing really well right now. I like that they don't have to blitz, but I'm disappointed at the pass rush that the defensive line for some reason cannot get by just rushing forward. Not like they used to. You'd have Carlos Dunlap on one side and Michael Johnson on the other. They were a threat. You throw in Geno Atkins in the middle. I mean, that front four was tough to stop. But Atkins isn't the same. He's still pretty good, but he's not the same. And Dunlap certainly needs help on the other side. I like Wallace Gilberry. I think he's a great player. But they are definitely going to need to address the line here in the draft. Not sure what they have in Marcus Hunt. Not sure what they have in Will Clark yet either. I mean, he could end up being a pretty good guy there on the defensive line, but gone are the days where they can rotate 8 guys there at the defensive line and have some production. And that was a mainstay in the Zimmer defense for many, many years. Hopefully they can bring that back. But as a whole, the defense is playing very well. Like I said, the secondary is not getting beat deep. They're keeping their play in front of them. and more importantly, when the play or catch is made, they're tackling. We didn't have a whole lot of missed tackles today. We did have some, but there weren't too many. And I think that the presence of Ray Maluga there on the defense has really helped. Fatal Content in the chat room, surprised we haven't heard from him, says, did you guys like the aggression on 4th down to go for it at the goal line? Bengals had a 4th and goal at the 2-yard line, and this is a play immediately following Marshall Newhouse had just gotten poked in the eye, so they had to rearrange the offensive line on that play. 4th down and 2, and they throw a fade into the corner of the end zone with A.J. Green. Now, I'll tell you this. I love the aggressiveness, and I love the call. I was calling for it on Twitter to go for it. I like that they went for it. The play call, in hindsight, I don't know. Probably not the best play call. They throw a fade, which was completed. He caught it, but we're talking about inches. He was inches out of bounds. That's how close it was to being a touchdown. What I would have liked to seen them do, in hindsight, is run the ball and pound the rock with Jeremy Hill. You know, make it a physicality thing. Now, they didn't get it. And so at that point, I like the fact that they were going to make Ryan Mallett go 98 yards to try and score a touchdown. What happens on the first play? Ray Maluga shoots the gap. He pushes the right guard into the backfield, trips Alfred Blue up for a safety. Boom. So it worked. But I certainly like the aggressiveness. Speak of the devil, Fatal Content here on the program, joining us on Skype. What's up, Fatal?
Hey, you read my mind, man. What's going on, man? I was just trying to give everybody time to shine. You know how that is.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you this question since you posed it to the chat room. Did you like the aggressiveness of the 4th down call?
I loved it, man. I we didn't get it, and you can always second guess it. I thought it was a pretty good play too. It's just the defender just pushed AJ a little too far out, and he couldn't get the second foot in. But you know what? We got the safety on the next play. So yeah, I like the aggression, even had we not gotten the safety afterward. It shows you their fortitude. They have some balls, man.
You know why I like that call too, Fatal? At that point in the game, Ryan Mallett hadn't shown you anything that scared you. They weren't completing a lot of passes, and their running a game hadn't gotten going for the Texans. So, I think Marvin Lewis saw that as well. He saw that the Texans offense was struggling at the time. So why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? You're right. You called it, and it's just there were a lot of good things this game. It's just the way the defense answered the call against their offense, against their running game, after their running game had been looking pretty good the last few weeks. And like you said, us basically blanking out, because playing against a guy like Watt, if he's not dominating, and he puts up the stat line he put up today with his standards, we blanked him out. I mean, he had a few plays that are Watt-like, but, I mean, we pretty much kept him in check with, a couple guys going down at that. So I thought that was we offset Watt pretty well. We punched them in the mouth. We kind of bullied them.
I was disappointed. I want to get your take on Jadeveon Clowney on the offside there on the pick six.
Oh, yeah, it was beyond disappointing. That was another one of those plays where I think you, Anthony, and our boy Scotty came into my mind at that play, because that was one of those plays where I thought, oh, A.J. Green, here he goes falling back.
Yep.
Instead of coming back to the ball. I actually thought you guys would have given him grief for that. But I actually thought the pressure kind of messed that route up, because A.J. kind of stuck his foot in the ground, and instead of in that route you're supposed to come back and attack the football, he kind of lingered back and was off balance and falling backwards, and I thought, oh, he's going to hear it. But that kind of disappointed me. But, yeah, the ref thing was an automatic. That was just disappointment in the refs. That was despicable.
I mean, how do you miss that? I could see it on TV live before the play. I tweeted it out. Right end is offside. I mean, I don't know how that goes unnoticed.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you scratch your head. I really don't know how that went unnoticed. It was blatant, like you said, and just also I'm glad though that they did pick up 2 personal fouls. I think one was on Lemur when he clocked the guy, and it shouldn't have been a penalty. And there was another one where they picked it up after Reggie Nelson did a textbook clean hit to separate to dislodge the ball from the receiver, and that horse collar was questionable too. I don't know if I was the only one who saw that, but yeah,
he had it by the nameplate. It wasn't even the shoulder pads; it was the nameplate.
Exactly. It was some plays in there that didn't go our way, but you know what? We didn't care. It was a dominant game. To me, I don't know if I was seeing things, but it was never a game to me. I think that even when they were as close as one possession away to take the lead, they never really threatened the lead. They never threatened it, and like someone pointed out, they only scored 6 points on our defense. So it was a pretty amazing game, man. I love us running the ball 40 times. That's the recipe for winning right there.
43 carries. I love that too, man. Punch him in the mouth.
Punch him in the mouth. And hey, you know what? How about my boy Maluga, man? I'm happy for this guy. And how about Nugent? How about Nugent and Maluga? These guys redeeming themselves. They take so much crap from the Bengals fan base, and for them to pull through the way they did and make 2 crucial plays that, you know, kind of could have saved the game. I thought they played well today, man. Credit to those guys.
Yep, those guys have been fantastic. Maluga in his return the last 2 weeks. And I agree with you about Nugent. Glad to see he's back to making kicks.
Exactly, man. I'll let you go, man, with another shout out to AJ. AJ playing like an absolute beast. Dalton, you notice I didn't even bring up Dalton because that's my boy. I'm happy for him. And this I was about to call him Gruden, but Hugh Jackson did good. He did some good play calling on that game too, man. That was excellent. That was excellent by all these guys, man.
Yep, fantastic team win. Appreciate the call, Fatal.
All right, man. Shout out to you, man. Take it easy.
Talk to you on Tuesday night.
Tuesday, for sure. I remember that, man.
All right, man. Hooday.
Hooday.
That's Fatal Content joining us here on the Skype line. If you want to get in touch, 404-946-3397 is the number to call. Area code 928. Hi, who's this?
Hey, it's Mark. What's going on?
Hey, Mark. What's up, buddy?
2 in a row. What's going on here?
I mean,
on the road.
2 in a row on the road in domes, and in a place in Houston where Andy Dalton has never played well. Finally, to see him get a win in his hometown, that's pretty cool.
Well, the sports announcer mentioned getting that monkey off his back. I think that was a small victory for Andy and the team. I mean, we almost gave it to him though in the third with that pick 6, but I think overall we played good. Green was a monster today. Gio was doing his thing, and Hill. I mean, we should keep Hill in there more often. But I think for the most part, the offense played smoothly today. I kind of caught the highlights because the game switched over to the Cleveland one, and I was kind of hoping they'd lose.
No, unfortunately, the Browns somehow managed to luck out and get a win down in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? And there was some, sports writers not expecting us to win today. But with that said, we head back and we head out to Tampa. So another W, but just wanted to call in and give everybody a happy Who Day and a happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving, Mark. Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
That's Mark giving us a ring here on the Jungle Line. If you want to get in touch, 404-946-3397. If you don't get through, continue to keep trying. I've only got the one phone line. It's the best I can do, unfortunately, for you guys. We're working on that, though. Again, 404-946-3397. I'll be here as long as we're getting phone calls. As long as I'm getting phone calls here in the afternoon. I'm glad Mark brought up Jeremy Hill. And he mentioned that he wanted to know or wanted Jeremy Hill to get some more carries. And I would like that too. I think the timing is what's important here. I want to see Hill getting the carries and getting the bulk of the carries in the fourth quarter, preferably when the Bengals have a lead. Let him punish the defense. Let him make those runs in between the tackles. We've seen that he can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So I think Jeremy Hill, and even more impressively, he's getting better at pass protection, which we all know is a really important part of the running back position. So, for me, I'd like to see Hill get some more carries, closer to 25 to 27 carries like we've seen the last couple of weeks, when he's rushed for over 150 yards. But at the same time, you got to have Gio in there. Gio does some things too that the teams need to game plan for and be worried about and be prepared for. So it's a nice problem to have 2 really good running backs in the backfield that are similar in the fact that they can catch the ball out of the backfield, but they offer different styles, different types of runs there in the fourth quarter. Hill, obviously, late in the game, kind of came up a little limp. Not sure what his injury is. He seemed to be kind of walking it off on the sideline. I'm wondering if, if push comes to shove, he probably could have maybe been in there. If that's a playoff game, maybe he's in there. I don't know. But again, Hill today was a monster. 18 carries, 87 yards for the first-year back out of LSU. So he's had pretty good back-to-back weeks. He's had a good 5-week stretch as well, running the ball for the Bengals. We've talked about A.J. Green today. He looks healthy finally. For the first time in quite some time. He looked explosive off the ball. In fact, there was one point today. He had it might have been in the first or second quarter, and it was clear that the Texans were having a hard time covering him. And you just hear A.J. during the broadcast yelling, "You better get somebody to cover me." And that was pretty funny. And glad to see him playing with some swagger. I like to see that out of A.J. Green. 12 catches, 121 yards today for A.J. Green. No touchdowns, but again, he had a pretty good day. Let's go back to the Skype line and welcome in Mike Smith all the way over in the UK. Mike Smith, how you doing, buddy?
I'm okay, Nick. I'm all right. I'm much better after a Bengals win. Could we just have one caveat before I start?
Okay.
There'll be no mention of soccer in this call.
Why don't you want to do that, Mike?
The second you mention soccer, then I'm putting the phone down. Okay.
Okay. Well, what's on your mind then, Liverpool fan Mike?
I'm just very happy with the Bengals win today. It'd be pretty nice if it was in the playoffs, though. Beating Houston in the playoffs. But never mind. But yeah, a great win today. I just thought, speaking in the chat room, I think Fatal made a great point about how well having the running backs Bernard and Hill. They all really work. They complement each other so well. They had that bit of surprise that Jackson can call upon again. Other defenses can't seem to counter yet. And like the commentator for the feed we were getting here, which is going on about what a difference Jeremy Hill has made to this team this season. I'm just really excited about that. I thought the defense definitely came to play again today. It seems as though this defense, or after the Cleveland game, has really come back and has really responded. If there was, I don't know, maybe it will come to light at the end of the season. Maybe there's some sort of NFL Films documentary made about the Bengals. I'd love to have been like a fly on the wall after the Cleveland game, just to see, what was said to the defense, what was the team in general after that game and how they responded. But onwards and upwards onto Tampa. I think there's been a bit of discussion about whether to bring Burfict back or not. I mean, regardless of whether we do or not, I just want to win. I think, and then it's Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah, you got to go into Tampa and you got to be focused because this, for whatever reason, they the last few times they've gone into Tampa to play, they just they haven't won, and that's what's disappointing. I think Bruce Gradkowski beat them the last time they went down to Tampa. He was the Bucs quarterback at the time, and so yeah, I'd like to see them get off the schneid there as well and get a win. But you can't take them lightly either because they've beaten Pittsburgh, and so they're no pushover. Nobody in the NFL is a pushover.
No, they're not. It's. I know the NFC people what they're saying about the NFC South, and Lord knows my namesake in Atlanta's getting. He's probably going to get lynched tonight if he's not careful. But, it's not an easy game. We still got to go in there and do the business. Have the Bucs played the Brownies yet?
I think the Browns beat the Bucs, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they beat them. No.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to look.
Yeah, for some reason I thought the Brownies I'd lost to the Bucs as well. But I just did sort of to try and gauge, what we're looking to what we'd expect to get in Tampa. But yeah, I just also want to say from all of us at Bengals UK, even though we don't celebrate it, wish everyone over in Cincinnati and across the United States a happy Thanksgiving for this forthcoming Thursday.
Well, we appreciate that, Mike.
Yeah, enjoy your day off while we're all slaving away in the UK on the Thursday and Friday.
We get Thursday and Friday off. It's a nice little holiday for us, Mike.
Well, enjoy the turkey and hooday and onwards and upwards, and I'll probably speak to you later.
Appreciate the call, Mike. Have a good one.
No worries, man.
Hooday.
Bye-bye.
That's Mike over in the UK giving us a ring. I'm looking at the stats here. Yes, Cleveland did beat Tampa this year, 22-17. In that game, Brian Hoyer threw for 300 yards. That was on November 2nd, and that was the week before they played us down on Thursday Night Football. That was a bad night. So yes, Bengals go to Tampa next Sunday to take on a Bucs team that is currently 2-9, the worst team in the NFC. That's saying a lot. Worse than the Giants, worse than Washington, even worse than Atlanta. Atlanta's 4-7 now. Get in touch, though, Bengals fans. We'll be here as long as we're getting phone calls. 404-946-3397 is the number to call if you want to get in touch as well. Via Skype, you can. Inside the Jungle is the Skype account. Love to hear your thoughts today on your MVP. Who gets your game ball today? There's a lot of candidates. Today. Jeremy Hill had 18 carries for 87 yards. Dalton, in the first half looked great. Then in the second half kind of fell off a little bit. 24 of 35 on the day, 233 yards, the one touchdown and the one pick six that shouldn't have counted. Bernard on his first game back after missing a couple weeks, 17 carries for 45 yards. As I mentioned, A.J. Green had the 12 catches for 121 yards. Sanu had some pretty good grabs. Did have a touchdown catch as well. 5 for 48. Gresh, tell you what, the villain, he likes that role. 4 catches for 33 yards today as well. I thought Gresham did pretty good today. There was not a lot of Gresham kind of moments today, which is good. Let's go back to the Jungle line. Area code 234. Hi, who's this?
It's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, what's on your mind today?
I'd like to talk about the Bengals.
All right.
Great game today. Played all facets of the game was good. I thought the play calling was good. I thought he just called a good game. I think AJ should be most valuable player. I know you were just talking about that.
That's a good call. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with AJ. He was pretty dominant. It seemed like Dalton seemed to struggle once he stopped throwing it to AJ.
Yeah. They definitely need to do something about the running game. I mean, it wasn't bad today, but it still needs work. And they need somebody else to throw to.
All right, fair enough.
When do you think? Do you hear any word of when Piper's coming back? Tight end.
Yeah, that's a good question. We've kind of heard hints from Marvin that he's progressing and that they think he might be able to come back this year. I've also heard the worst and that he may not be back this year. So we really don't know. We have no idea. And maybe that's what the Bengals are playing coy about that. But if they do get him back, I think that would be big for the offense.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, Gresham's just he's getting better, but I think to have both of them on each side would be nice.
Yeah.
That would help the running game too.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff.
But I think there's a chance the Bengals might get to 11 wins. I mean, I figure it was going to be a rough one. They got to beat Cleveland. If they don't beat Cleveland again, I am going to be. If they lose Cleveland again, I am going to be mad.
Well, if they want to get to
got to me more than any other.
Well, Jeff, if they want to get to 11 wins, they got to win 4 out of their last 5, and they've got Tampa, Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland, and Denver in that stretch. So it's going to be dicey. I hope they do, though.
Yeah, and it's in Denver too, right?
No, that game's the last home game of the year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's a Sunday. I believe if it's not a Sunday night, I think it's a Monday night game.
Yeah, I think it is Monday night. Yeah. But they got a chance. Dalton, I hope those bright lights don't get to him again. I mean, man, he's having a bad time with those bright lights.
Yeah. We shall see. Hopefully he gets over that little whatever that is.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I wanted to call in and help wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your days off, and hope you and your family really enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
Watch it every week. Love your show, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well.
Thank you, Ray.
Hooday. That's Jeff here on the Jungle Line. And don't forget, we're going to have another show before Thanksgiving this week. We'll be live right here at Cincy Jungle on Tuesday night. Mickey will be joining me. Anthony from the West Coast will be joining me. Scott Bantel with that epic mustache will be joining me. So don't forget, join us Tuesday night right here at Cincy Jungle, 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll be here one more time before Thanksgiving. Back to the Jungle Line, area code 703. Hi, who's this?
This is Richard Rolson and Larry Rolson calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Rolson's part duo here on the post-game show. How you doing today, Richard?
We're doing great. Almost all the Rolson boys were here for the game, and it was a really great experience. First, I want to say Texas Stadium is a really great place to come. The fans were really nice, great amenities, and it was just a fun place to be. And then the Bengals won, so it made it even better.
Awesome. Was it loud?
It was very loud, especially defense. They love their defense. J.J. Watt, he's going to be governor of the state someday. So, and they won't even have an election. He'll just say, "I want to be governor of the state." So, but wanted to say we really liked what the Bengals were doing with running the ball, especially the first half. Got the mix of Gio and Hill was the right combination. Dalton was really confident in the first half. He was throwing the ball to Green no matter how tight the coverage was. I think after the interception, he was a little more gun-shy. But there was also just some really great plays by the defense to knock away the ball and that from receivers that, but thought they might have shot themselves in the foot with the penalty when they were driving to put the game away, but Nugent came through. So, and at that point, everyone left the stadium. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I wonder, how the atmosphere was there after that pick six. You probably don't even know this or realize this, but during that play, Jadeveon Clowney for the Texans was lined up offside, and it wasn't even close.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that I'm just wondering if anybody there actually knew that as well, like if they showed a replay and you saw it. But yeah, it wasn't even close. That should not have counted.
Yeah. Well, and the one that I saw that I couldn't believe they missed is when they were driving, they did get that last touchdown, and Gio Bernard has his helmet just ripped off his head. I'm like, how was that not a face mask? The guy took the helmet off, but. It was just one of those days. They weren't going to get those calls, but they overcame. They kept trying, and what I loved is they stuck with it. Hill was getting bobbled up for 1-2 yard losses, and then he busts that one that got him into field goal position. So it was a great day. It was a lot of fun.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself down there. You had some good weather in Houston as well, and that's fantastic. I'm glad that all you Rolsons were able to get together. That's pretty cool.
Thanks. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, you too. We'll talk to you Tuesday night. Hooday. I can hear all the Rolsons there in the background. That's fantastic. Appreciate the call, Richard. 404-946-3397. If you want to get in touch, we'll be here as long as we're getting phone calls. We're going here on an hour here on the postgame show. A lot to talk about, obviously, but the Bengals win puts them at 7-3-1, and currently, if the season were to end today, they would be the third seed in the AFC. They would be hosting Kansas City. Cleveland, your seventh place team in the AFC right now at 7-4. So if Kansas City were to slip up and Cleveland were to continue to win out, there's a good chance that we could be hosting the Cleveland Browns at Paul Brown Stadium in the playoffs. What? Right now, also, I'm getting word here in the chat room that the Dolphins are about to go up on the Denver Broncos. Looking at the score, 14-3, Miami leading Denver. So if Denver were to lose tonight, your first round bye, second seed in the AFC would be your Cincinnati Bengals at 7-3-1. A lot of football left to play. Though. Again, Bengals fans, don't forget, we're live. Normally we record the show, our weekly roundtable show, Wednesday night. But due to Thanksgiving and some travel arrangements, Tuesday night we will be recording our normal show, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here at cincyjungle.com. I'll be joined by Mickey Mentzer, Scott Pantel, Anthony Cosenza. We'll be recapping today's win over the Texans, give you our best and worst. We'll also look ahead to a big game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down at the big pirate ship. I guess we'll call it that. So you don't want to miss it again. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here at CincyJungle.com. Also, if you have a moment and you like what we do, you like our post-game show, and you like our weekly Wednesday night show, leave us an iTunes review. It really goes a long way in helping us out. Also, if you didn't know this, if you're a Patreon patron, you know this, but the show's going daily. In the month of December, I'm doing this as a daily show. But there's a caveat. I'm doing this as a test. I'm testing out this daily format. And if all goes well, I might launch this next year. But I'm testing it out in the month of December. If you want access to those daily shows in the month of December, all you got to do is become a patron. $1. That's all it'll take. You'll get access to every show. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday's postgame shows. So become a patron today. spnt.tv/Patreon, Patreon, or patreon.com/Nick Suberling. All it takes is $1 and you get access to those daily shows in the month of December. So you won't want to miss that. And you got to get that in before November 30th. Otherwise, you won't have access to those shows. So again, spnt.tv/Patreon. And I'd appreciate your feedback. If you like those daily shows, if you're excited about the daily shows, get in touch. Inside the Jungle at spnt.tv. I think everybody in the chat room agrees today, A.J. Green, your game ball winner. 12 catches, 121 yards on the day. No touchdowns, but he did have a pretty good performance and was pretty solid for the Bengals. That's going to do it for Inside the Jungle postgame. Again, make sure you join us Tuesday night for our normal show, 8 o'clock Eastern, right here at CincyJungle.com. Special thanks to my associate producers, Annie Lanham, Larry Rolson, and Mike Barty as well. Inside the Jungle's an SPNT production. For more information about our other podcasts, log on to spnt.tv. And for all the latest news and notes about the Bengals, game recaps, injury updates, and more, check out CincyJungle.com. The guys are furiously writing right now. Bengals win. We'll see you Tuesday night. Good day.